located right behind the aquarium. That saves us millions of gallons of water every year that we have to create, and it also makes it an easier transition for the marine wildlife in this exhibit and several of the exhibits around you. Now in the center of the exhibit you can see our replica, the U-352. The U-352 was the first German U-boat to be sunk off of our coast during World War II, and it represents one of around 2,000 shipwrecks found off of our coastline. Does anybody know what famous nickname they gave the coastline for North Carolina because of all of the shipwrecks? Somebody knows it. Exactly. Graveyard of the Atlantic, because these ships keep piling up due to hurricanes, wars, pirates, and also because we have a lot of shoals and sandbars, which do make our waters a little bit harder to navigate. But these shipwrecks do eventually become artificial reefs for our marine wildlife. And in here you can see around 300 different types of fish today. There is about 30 different species in all of these 300 fish. And the largest of all of them is our sharks, of course. They are apex predators in this exhibit. How many people were here for the dive? Handful over here, a couple over here. Okay, you are the ones I'm going to be looking for these answers. In this exhibit, we have 3 species of shark. The one in the middle right here with the nice gray part of their body, torpedo-shaped, tall dorsal fins. What type of sharks are these 3?
Tiger.
Not tigers. Not sand sharks. Sandbar sharks, exactly. So sandbar sharks, these 3 are sandbars. They've got the nice torpedo shape, the tall dorsal fins on their backs. If you watch them swim, they swim faster than the other sharks. So they need the tall fins on their back in order to keep them balanced in the water. What about the shark going toward the back with the barbels on their face? There's 2 of them. Nurse sharks, right. Nurse sharks are very common in our waters. Nurse sharks have the barbels on their face to help them find food, just like a catfish. Nurse sharks will actually use suction when eating, and they have the amount of suction that you can get from 17 vacuum cleaners combined. So it's a lot of suction that they'll actually use to suck sea snails like whelks right out of their shell and then grind them up on their tiny teeth. Our final shark in here has that beautiful big teeth heading back there right now. And of course the red spots along her tail. Who knows what she is?
Amanda
shark. 2 of those. Exactly. Sand tiger sharks. Sand tiger sharks have the beautifully big teeth, which do make them look a tad more aggressive. But the reason they look more aggressive is that they have so many teeth that they cannot close their mouths all the way. They're actually a very calm shark. Them having those really big teeth does allow that species to eat more different types of food than some of the other species, which are going to be more limited due to their smaller sized teeth. So that is a bit of a benefit for them. However, here at the aquarium, we do feed our sharks only 2 times a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. We don't want to overfeed them because sharks in the wild and all over the world have a very slow metabolism, so they don't need food as often. So in the wild, sharks will eat once a week or less, sometimes only once a month. So 2 times a week here is plenty for them, so today is unfortunately not a shark feeding day. But we are going to feed the rest of the fish for you, and we're going to do that with a broadcast feed. A broadcast feed is where you stand above the tank and throw in 25 pounds of food. It's a mixture of fish, singing pellets, silver sides, sardines, and various different types of other fish all cut up. There's even some squid in there, and they throw it in, and the big fish go and get the bigger pieces, and the smaller fish go for the smaller pieces. Pay attention to those sharks. The sharks are pretty much ignoring everything that's going on, except for our nurse sharks, which do steal a few pieces of shrimp, because it is one of their favorite foods, and they do not get it on shark feeding days because it's not big enough. So our nurse sharks do steal shrimp, but they're not eating their fish, and they're not gobbling up many of the food products. So because people do think that sharks will just eat meat and eat whenever there's food available, we do hunt them. And not only do we hunt them just to get them out of the waters, but we also hunt them for shark fin soup. The problem with shark fin soup is that what people do often is take the animal out of the chop off all of its fins, and then put the animal back in the water. Sharks cannot regrow their fins, and they cannot survive without them either. They cannot swim, mate, or even hunt. So without their fins, that animal will definitely not make it. So that is a big problem. Because of shark finning and shark hunting, shark populations are on a decline. However, the U.S. did put in a law in place